Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the 254th edition of Cinema Effect, the podcast where we review and talk about a different movie every single Monday. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, anywhere else you get your podcasts. So subscribe if you enjoy this program. This week, the movie we're reviewing is F1, which opened in the US on June 27th, 2025. It was directed by Joseph Kosinski. It is a racing drama, and the synopsis says, a Formula One driver comes out of retirement to mentor and team up with a younger driver. Indeed. Jayden, you're the F1 guy. You're going to be our guide today in the sport, in the world of F1, the franchise of F1. But what did you think of Kosinski's take on the sport and this epic film here?
I think I'm coming down on it a bit throughout the week. I think coming out of it, I was really high on it.
Okay.
Was very very much liking it, but I think some of that initial honeymoon has waned already. I think it's like still pretty solid as like an introduction film to the sport, but I think at the end of the day it feels like a massive marketing tool for the sport, which is what it is. It's funded by Mercedes and some people at the FIA, I'm pretty sure as well. It is an advertisement to get more people in. It's part of like F1's had this massive like digital push in the past like 7 years in trying to get that like younger audience. I think this is like the final piece of that puzzle, and it very much feels like that to me. And like while it is like strong in parts, I think it is just too much of that. Which I understand it has to be, but it just feels like it is too much of that like kind of casual audience targeted. Yeah. But once again, I understand why it has to be. But like it's
doesn't mean
it's to the detriment for me a bit.
Yeah. I hear that. I agree with that. I enjoyed it enough. It delivered on my expectation of wanting a well done, practical, in camera spectacle. For all the driving scenes and everything, and that stuff was good. But I'm also feeling that what we often refer to is the film like slipping away from your consciousness. And this film was slipping. It didn't have a lot of staying power. The story was fine, mostly, but I don't know. It was solid. I was satisfied enough, I guess. But I'm right there with you where it does feel very mass markety, which is not always the worst thing, but not always the best thing either. Fitzy, what did you think?
Yeah, I think I'm there with you guys. Like, I think it's like, it feels very like Top Gun Maverick light, It pretty much like feels like that same kind of mentor-y formula and like the cool in-camera stuff, as you said, just for a different vehicle,
Right.
And the story is like, kind of formulaic in the same way that film is, although that film kind of hit certain beats more productively, I guess. But there were still some moments of this that hit, but overall it was kind of middling. I agree.
I like how you said for a different vehicle. That should have been the question of the week. It should have been, instead of which sport, we should have said which vehicle should get the Joseph Kosinski treatment. That's good. Yeah, Top Gun Maverick's an interesting comparison point. I don't know. It's like, obviously a natural one given the filmmaker involved and everything, and the filmmaking that's going on here. But it's like, I don't know. This film just didn't hit anything emotionally for me like Top Gun Maverick did. Top Gun Maverick was epic, and this film was just kind of, I don't know. I don't know if I could put my finger exactly on why. Maybe the length's part of it, but this film definitely didn't hit the highs of Top Gun Maverick. I don't know if there's anyone walking out who thinks that, then God bless you, but definitely didn't for me. I don't know. Did you guys feel this film was too long? It was, I don't
know. Yeah, a little bit. Not massively, but a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Even like 220, Like I could have done that. Just a little too long. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it definitely doesn't hit the highs. Yeah, I don't think it doesn't hit that big high that Top Gun Maverick did for me. But like I must say some of the moments in the racing, it did get me to get me tingling in a way that like I do from like the real racing. So I have to commend him on that, because like there was a couple times where like I kind of did feel myself like I was actually watching like a real race, not in terms of like how it's shot, because you don't get those shots in real races, but like but like in terms of like the anticipation, I guess, of like the overtake.
Oh yeah,
a couple times it got me where I was like, oh, is he gonna get it done? I was like, oh, you gotta defend him. I was like, oh, yeah.
Well, that's high praise. I feel like if they're able to recreate that, yeah, that's well done. Is like, I guess, comparing to the real life aspects of it, like, so I know they joke about Sonny's age in the film. Is Sonny actually meant to be 60 years old? Like,
I think that like they talked about like the 57 and the 56-year-old driver, so I think that like he is meant to be that old.
Is that even conceivable, Jayden, in the real sport?
Not in the modern day, no.
Okay, but once.
Well, yeah, I assume the ones that like in Javier Bardem mentions are real ones, but like they're from the 70s. I'm sure, like you're not putting a 56-year-old in these cars. For one, like he wouldn't have a super license, and like two, like it's just not. Like why waste the money? Like why would you compete a has-been when like there's so much, like Brad Pitt's point at the start about like you have so many talented F2 and F3 drivers coming through. Why do you want him? Like it's 100% true. There's like there is no possibility in the world where you're putting a 60-year-old in that car. There's you have lists, very long lists of reserve drivers that you go to.
Right.
Like, yeah.
They did make clear he was 10th on the list, but like he should be lower by the sound of it.
I mean, yeah, like you just don't do it.
I guess he did just win Daytona, which like is that? Do you know anything about that shit? Like, is that wife as well?
Like I think that Daytona is like a different ballpark. Like it's an endurance race. Like it's still go fast, but like it is completely different, and like the car is just so entirely different. Like open wheel versus closed is like it's once again like just very separate. And like they go over it very quickly, but like when he gets there for testing, like they talk about how pointy the car is, and like it really is. Like it doesn't steer like a regular car. And the physicality on it is way more intense than what Daytona is, or like any kind of GT kind of racing, because like you're pulling 5 Gs every corner, and like you're understeering and oversteering into almost every corner. Like it's just a lot harder than nearly every other kind of motorsport. Not to say hard is probably the wrong word, but it is just once again that one step different. It's
different,
just,
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I was like, when they noted in the film that like they were talking about him, because I think they specifically mentioned that like accident that he had that like took him out of the game was like in the early 90s, I think they said. So it's like, God damn. That was I was like, yeah, because we talked about, I know before the film came out, they were like, surely like Brad Pitt, like his character is going to be like 40 or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I do.
So it's like to make it like at least a bit more digestible for like realism or whatever. But like, no, when they did that, I was like doing the math, and I'm like, I guess he is like, they're keeping the age there. They're not afraid of it. Fitzy, what did you think of Sonny as a character, as a lead? Feel free to compare him to Maverick if you want to do a character analysis comparison, keep that thing going. But I don't know, did you connect with this guy as the 60-year-old driver?
I mean, I don't think it was like that similar to Maverick. I just think like the main beats that he kind of hits are the same, like the mentor, like the older guy having this random kind of romantic person that's like involved in the same thing that he is and stuff. Like there's definitely like an exoskeleton that was taken from Maverick, but
right,
like the feel is definitely like different. Yeah. Oh well, I asked Jayden, like I was trying to think like when was the last like big Brad Pitt thing. And like this feels like one of his bigger things in a while, because like kind of, I don't know, in Babylon he was like a big character, but there was like so many big characters in that, so it was ensemble, I guess. So this was like, yeah, it was cool seeing him in like as the main guy. But yeah, his character wasn't too interesting. Just kind of standard like risk taking gambling dude.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I think he played it really well. I think he played like, especially at the start, when he kind of plays like the van, the guy in the van, and he's kind of has this like edge and humor to him. I think he played that pretty well.
That's the thing I like most about him, probably. Yeah, I think for the most part, he fills the archetype fairly well. And then, when you get into the spot, it's like, oh, he's the guy who's been out on his luck or out of the game or whatever. Like, they have the whole scene where the reporter, like, I mean, it is funny, I guess, but like where the reporter's like, oh, you've been divorced 8 times or whatever, and then he's like just saying yeah to it all. It's like, okay, this is kind of a character archetype of just like, someone who's been through all their shit or whatever and then needs to win. It's like, all right, whatever. But the thing that I like most about him, I think, was that, the van vibe was of just how, and all the way through and then right to the end where he does his thing. He's hyper-focused, like not blocks out the noise, as he says, and then does the job and then just walks out and just leaves. Like we should do a trivia. I don't know. I think that's pretty sick, to be honest. It's just like, it's like that was like the most unique feeling thing about him, I guess, to me, as a character, where especially right at the end when he freaking wins the goddamn F1 thing and then he's just like, I'm out, I'm done. And then he literally goes on to the next sport. I thought that was cool. It felt unique and as opposed to, I don't know, a lot of these other getting all caught up in the glory and the money and all that, it's not about the money, as he says. Yeah, I don't know. I liked that a lot. And I liked the ending for that reason. It was just so random, like seeing him go to that like place in the desert and drive that, I don't know, that like the dirt buggy or whatever it was. I don't know what it was. Something like that. Dune buggy. I thought that was cool. It's just like hit the peak and piece it. So
yeah, like the guy in oh wait, no, spoilers. Sorry, but I'll sort of spoil another racing movie.
Oh, okay. Watch out. But yeah, no, other than that, I think Brad Pitt did a good job. I would say he did a good job driving. But
yeah, good job, Brad Pitt.
Good job, Brad. Well done, Brad Pitt. He got paid $30 million for this movie, by the way.
I just saw that before. That is fucking insane.
Oh, really?
Good job, Brad. Well done. Yeah. I guess I mean, his last big movie, to your point, Fitzy, was it Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Has it been that long?
But even there, he's not like the main guy. He's the stunt double. But I guess that's why they need.
He's the co-lead, though, right?
Yeah,
you'd say.
Yeah, I guess so. But but I mean, like, yeah, but like, I guess that's why they need the fucking sequel. That's going to come to Netflix with David Fincher, the Cliff Booth Adventures.
Yeah, that way he's not getting outshone by Margot Robbie 2 films in a row. Otherwise, she just keeps stealing his spotlight. Thank God she wasn't in this. Jayden, did you like Sonny as a character?
Not really. He's like the worst part of the film, probably because of like everything he does is just so wrong. Like you can buy into like a lot of things, and like you can ignore a lot of realisms. And like I was saying to Liam, like when we left, I was like, oh no, it's like, I mean, it's pretty good. There's some things that you can't really do, but then I just like, it's just he's everything that the sport doesn't tolerate these days.
Oh, okay.
And like,
in terms of his tactics,
yeah, you can't crash on purpose. Like that is like the biggest no-no.
Right.
And then to do it 3 times, like this is probably like look, like you can't crash on purpose. Number 1, maybe like for the baseline audience, they don't understand that. Number 2, that the baseline audience doesn't understand that I wouldn't expect them to understand that the team radio can be heard by anyone. Other teams listen to your team radio. The stewards are listening to your team radio. If the stewards hear you say, I'm going to crash so I can cause a safety car, that is immediate disqualification. Like, you just can't do that.
Right.
It's unsafe driving, and when you're driving at 320 kilometers an hour, like you will kill someone. Like, you can't do that. Like that's the biggest sin. But then, like, his whole his whole attitude it's all wrong, you know. Like, it's, I don't know. And then, like, the romance is bad. Like they could have kept it flirty without having it like go like fully develop it. I think it would have been better. And like, he's like it's so rare for the driver. Like, the driver is rarely calling his own shots in a season, let alone every race. There is so few times where the team will give an order and the driver will say, "Oh, actually, I'm going to stay out on these hards." And then, like, even then, there's like concession, and you're like, "All right, I'll come in 5 laps instead of like the 4 because I like." At the end of the day, you're driving the car, you do get the choice, but like, the team knows better than you because they have the instruments, they have the data. So like, him being the strategist and being like, "Oh, well, why don't you just build a car designed for combat?" Like fucking, of course, like, she would know that. I don't know. Like, there was such a hero aspect put on Sonny. Like
he's coming in here changing the game. Like,
yeah, and like the like, he's just doing too much. Like, they made the character do too much and do it wrongly. You know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was going to specifically ask about the whole thing with him, like, you know, manipulating the rules with the safety car and crashing and all this sort of shit, because I was just like as a noob, I was like, this shit's entertaining. Like, it worked it worked in the movie for sure, and I get I get the decision, but I absolutely was like, there's no way this shit's real.
No, yeah,
like, surely not.
At that point, like, when this is like essentially a marketing movie for the sport, like, you know, you're falsely advertising your sport is what it's like, because like, you need to be 100% honest. The sport is nowhere near as interesting as these last 9 races are. You know, there's some races where there's like 10 overtakes the entire time, and it's just a DRS train. So like, obviously you're not going to show that when you're trying to market your sport, but like when you exaggerate it to like to this nth degree,
right?
I'm like, come on, guys.
It's I don't know,
shameless.
I guess, tell me if I'm going too extreme, but like, I feel like it has the potential to, like, I don't know, undercut like the value of your sport in terms of, it's like the values of your sport. You know what I mean? Like, to suggest that this behavior is okay in any way. Like, hey, I don't like, isn't like Lewis Hamilton a producer on this film? Like, how does he, like, wouldn't he have a problem with that? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Look, I think he understands. I think it is weird. Yeah, that Lewis and Mercedes are so entirely linked with it, and like how flippant they are with like the rules and the kind of current attitudes.
Right.
But at the same time, I think they probably understand that they probably like understand it as the marketing tool it is.
It's about the business. Yeah. Makes sense.
But yeah, some of that shit's too far.
Yeah, because I was like, when I saw that, it's like, and also when he does the false start to have his tires warm.
That was quite clever. Like with that, like, I'm not sure. I haven't seen that happen before, so I don't know what the directive is on that. But like, you can definitely play it off in that race for sure, as it's your first race back.
Okay.
And it is really clever, really.
Shit. All right.
But
maybe people should pick up on that one.
You can't really. Like, it's only ever going to work once. If it happens twice where you don't know that it's in start mode, then the stewards are going to be like, hold on a second.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Also, I guess the film does entirely, to your point about the radio, rely on the fact that, like, no one else can hear the radio chatter.
Yeah, pretty much. Because if like you hear the call saying, we're going to keep Josh Pierce out, James Pierce. Josh Pierce?
Josh, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to keep him out for track position, and we're going to gamble on a safety car, but we're not gambling because we know that Sonny's going to cause a safety car. Then every other team keeps their driver out as well because they hear that radio.
Yeah, right. So is there particular, like, the stewards, you call them, are they people that are listening on their role on the teams to listen to every other team?
No, sorry. So like like the stewards are they're like the officials. They're like your umpires.
Okay.
But then your team also like you. I don't know whether like you listen direct, like you as the audience can listen directly, and so I like it's like I assume someone from the team is also doing it. But like if they're not doing it directly, then they will be getting like snippets or like they'll get like a transcript that they'll be able to see like immediately, kind of thing.
Yeah, wow. That's pretty sick. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. like I think once again it comes down to like a safety thing, because like if a team's trying to hide that their car has damage, like you can't do that, because if a piece of carbon fiber comes off and it fucking smacks you in the face, you know, like once again at 300 kilometers an hour you're dead. Like it's like they have to listen in, and like they have to say actually this team like, and like so like, you know, the teams will listen in, and then they'll say to the stewards if they miss something, they'll be like, hey, this team has something broken in their car, you need to flag them so they can change it. So it's like it's a safety thing, it's a strategy thing, it's a necessity, you know.
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so this film fundamentally breaks the rules of F1 in many ways, but they didn't care. It seems to be the moral of the story here. Trying to go back to the story a little bit. In terms of what we were talking about at the start of it, feeling like it appeals to the broadest possible audience. It just doesn't... It never really felt like... I just never felt it, I guess. It never really felt like it was about something, or other than like wanting to win. It's like, all right, I guess. I don't know. Like, not to say that they every time they sort of go for like a larger, more personal beat, they don't go deep enough, I think. Like every time, you know, they do make a point of going back to like Sonny's accident multiple times when he was young. But I don't know. It's just never enough. Like they kind of tease it, and it seemed to be this seemingly pretty horrific injury. Because then there was like, I do like that there was that, you know, that shot where it basically looks like he's like a corpse out there in the middle of the road. Like that looks pretty traumatizing. But then like, I get it's all there, and like I don't know. I wish I would have felt that a bit more, and felt that a bit more in Sonny's character, like, because that sounds like a terrible thing to go through. And not to say it doesn't affect the character, because it does, but just, I don't know, maybe not enough. I don't know if you guys feel that. Especially, like, I thought the way they shot and they introduced, like, the whole accident piece right at the start, like, that opens the film with, like, they do the whole, like, camcorder, like, vibe. It was pretty unique, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So, like, I figured it was going to have some sort of big, like, huge payoff, and it sort of, I came back to it, but not really, you know.
They did have cameras on the car back then as well, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, like, it's like that wasn't like an issue. Like that was like accurate to like the cameras that they'd have in the cars back then.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. But like it was kind of a stylized editing sequence, I thought. Like, you know how they had the whole static thing going on
in the
or
editing,
whatever.
it is, yeah. But then like if you watch any race from back then, you'll see like, oh, it's like feels very much like it.
Sure.
Yeah.
You only get the one angle of like the front facing camera.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. And I guess on this point, the relationship between Sonny and Pierce, I wanted it to work so much better than it did. It just didn't really work for me, you know?
Mm.
I'm glad you guys agree right off the bat. I mean, the Top Gun Maverick comparison, stretching that out, like it's, God, the mentor-mentee thing in that is so much better than this. I don't know. I mean, and to be fair, in that one you have the whole first film to build off of, but even still, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like they didn't fully pay off like the logic of of Pierce being like the hotshot guy. Like he was a hotshot in certain moments, but they felt like the wrong moments. Like when he was celebrating in front of the reporters in that like hallway.
Oh yeah.
After the loss, that was just like silly, you know. That really didn't feel like anything genuine to the character. And then he wasn't really that much of a hotshot on the like the actual racing track. Like he was, you know, he was pissed at Pitt for kind of the right reasons. And and he wanted to win as much as anyone else. But it didn't feel like they didn't feel like they had the whole thing that Javier brought him in for, which was to like equalize them, like Pitt being the more mature one or whatever. It just felt like that was kind of they kind of left that out the window, I guess. But
yeah. I agree. As it progresses, their relationship feels kind of awkward narratively. Like it just never. Yeah, in terms of choosing the wrong moments, I agree. It feels like they're progressing at different rates that don't match each other exactly. That then just don't really end in an arc that makes a lot of sense to me. I don't know. Like by the time you get to the end, and for how long the movie is, they're whatever you want to call it, becoming of bros or whatever. The self-actualization of the arc here. It just felt a bit quick and sort of unearned to me, even though the movie's really long. It's just I don't know. It's they weren't in the best place, and then like they both have their separate things where they get into hospital, but then like Sonny gets into hospital, and then like I think that changes Josh's mindset towards him a bit, but I don't really know exactly why. I can't really recall anything big that made sense there. And then I feel like Sonny came back from injury, and like Josh was like suddenly like taking up the whole, like the whole thing where they run around the track, like 'cause that's what Sonny's thing. And then he was like bringing the team up to do it with him, and I'm like, this feels so unearned right now. Like, why do you suddenly feel like empowered to like take on Sonny's role in that way? It was just kind of it didn't really make sense
within the movie. I think it's because he saw that Sonny's methods were working, like, which is once again really dumb because like right. Like running the track is fine. People still run the tracks. Everyone does that. Like the teams run the track and they bike it, they scooter it, whatever. And as like they talk about each corner, whatever. But like JP taking it on is because like he saw that Sonny set it up, but then he's also seen how Sonny hasn't been, on the treadmill fucking tubed up. He's just been running around the complex. He's been playing with balls rather than reaction tests. And he's saying that it's worked for Sonny, and he's like, "Oh, well, maybe I should abandon like the kind of modern things, which is dumb. You can't do it. Like it's in the modern sport. Like you still do like basic things like that, but you also can't just so flippantly fucking just piss off
become a Luddite,
like, all these kind of things. Yeah, I think so I think like JP in that final race taking over from Sonny because he sees that it's worked morale wise for the team and results wise, and he's also at that point understood that Sonny was trying to get him that win in Monza, and because he ran that simulator like fucking 7 times, whatever it was.
Right. Okay.
So he understood like Sonny is there to help, whereas at first he wasn't entirely sure. It's like that part of the relationship I don't have a massive issue with. It's just like their relationship. Yeah, I don't have an issue with. Yeah, we'll leave it there. Like it.
It's great.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I hear you, but at the same time, I don't know. I felt like they never really had a. I get okay. That did help me a bit with Josh's angle, but I still don't. I don't know. It didn't really feel like they had a moment of like really connecting with each other. It felt like by the point to where they get to, I don't know, just kind of like that's cool that he understands him more. But then by the time. It felt like they skipped a step to me. And then they get there and it's like, oh, you're back. Oh, my God, you're back. And it's like, hang on. But then you're like, I thought we were beefing. Like, I don't know. I feel like there needed to be an in-the-middle sort of section there where there was something changed a bit. I don't know. Because like, they start to tease it, obviously, with... I did like the whole like gambling scene in Vegas with Kerry Condon. And it's like, that feels like a natural scene to like, they come in beefing, obviously. And then it's like the start of them starting to understand each other. Like that scene serves that purpose well, but then sort of doesn't progress it enough to get to the end, I don't think. But yeah, I don't know. And I didn't love their chemistry on screen. Like there was nothing wrong with it, but I never really bought in fully, I guess. I did like what's his name? Oh my God, what's Josh Pierce's
Idris?
Damson Idris.
Damson.
Like, I liked him. I did like him as an actor by himself. And, of course, I liked Pitt, like we said. But together they were fine. Is my sort of main takeaway. I wish there was a bit more spark. This film, who else is in it? A lot of people are in it.
So many people.
So many people. You got most notably the therapist from Ted Lasso is in this movie.
Is that the woman at the end?
No, that's Josh's mum is the therapist from Ted Lasso.
Okay.
The woman at the end. Who's the woman at the end?
I don't know. She was like that corporate like person, and I was like, she just. I feel like I've seen her before, like cast in that like corporate archetype kind of like bitchy kind of boss kind of like role, and I'm like
hanging out there with Tobias Menzies.
Yeah,
his whole thing confused me more than it should have. To be honest with you, this is one of the ones where I felt dumb. Like it's probably not the movie's fault, but like I think I just didn't understand at some point his objective switched, or like it was probably the same objective the whole time, but like it switched to the audience where he comes into the movie being the guy who wants to save the team, and then it took me way too long to understand that he actually wants to sell the team, and that's what he's been.
Yeah. Well, he was the only one that was backing Ruben on Sonny, which we see as a positive at first, but then we learn is a negative because he was backing him because he thought that Sonny would be the nail in the coffin. So like, even like in terms of like switching for the audience, it doesn't switch that much. Like he was still backing Sonny at the end to fuck up. But like you're right about like the connotation around it is definitely swapped up. But
Right.
Yeah, like his goal was always to force Ruben out.
Yeah. So like that's why he was there at all in the first place.
Who?
What's his? I don't know what his character's name is.
Boardman.
Yeah. Okay, but like, obviously, it's presented early in the film like, oh, he's the only one that
believes.
Yeah. So then, like the other non-existent board member characters, they are also wanting to sell at the start, but then as the team starts to pick up, they're like, oh no, let's keep this thing, and then Tobias is trying to sabotage it to sell it. This is a really complicated plot that I'm glad I've just figured out right now. I'm really satisfied. Okay. Yeah, no, that was cool. I liked seeing him act with Brad Pitt. That was kind of funny. I kind of enjoyed that. But of course, you got Javier Bardem is in this movie. He was good. He was in it. I don't know. He was in it probably a bit more than I thought, actually, to be honest. I don't know. But yeah, he was good.
Yeah, I quite liked him.
I feel like you didn't like Kerry Condon, Jayden, because you already shat on the right.
Oh no, I thought she was fantastic. Dude, her voice is fantastic. I love listening to. I love listening to her talk about like F1 technical speak in a little Irish accent.
Yeah, that is cute. Actually, yeah,
it was fantastic. Yeah, no, she was great as a character as well. I don't like the way that it was positioned as like Brad Pitt has to tell her build a car for combat, because like when you're designing a car, like you're really only designing two ways. It's either straight line speed, which you're not really doing unless you're like one of the top dogs that can fight for that kind of clean air at the front, or you're building it to be able to like, withstand the corners and the kind of like hard fighting. My issue wasn't with her character, it was with Brad Pitt correcting her character.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
I thought she was cool. Yeah.
It is quite a worldly cast. Like, I'm glad they didn't. Is Brad Pitt the only Yank, like main Yank character? I feel like he might be.
Yeah, I mean, F1's not massive in America. Like,
that's what I was going to say. Like, I'm glad they didn't over Yankee it.
Yeah, in the past couple of years, it's changing. There's now 3 races there, and it's definitely coming up. But like, if there was more Yanks, it'd be inaccurate.
Yeah, exactly.
To add to the list of inaccuracies.
Yeah, they had the Vegas race in there, but no, that's why I thought that. So I'm glad, like, for example, they didn't have like Kerry Condon do it. Like, who wants to hear American accent out of Kerry Condon? You know what I mean? That's blasphemy. No one wants
to be fair, Zach Brown, the team principal for McLaren, who's one of the only real people that actually did get a line in the film. He is American as well.
Where was he in the film?
In one of the press conferences with the fake team principal, you also have, you have.
Oh, you
Zach
had the other
Brown
two dudes
and Fred Vasseur.
Yeah.
Zach's the one in orange.
Gotcha. All right, so there's another Yank there in the film. Nice. Yeah, cool. Was there like a lot of other real people? Like, I know there was like, they had a lot of like cutaway shots to like, look, it's these famous drivers walking somewhere or whatever. Like I saw, like I got that, but like, was there ever other than that example, actual F1 people in the same shot with actors?
No. Look, like 90% of the grid did not want them like on the grid. They did not want them in the film. Like they did not want anything to do with the film, really.
Sure.
Like especially the drivers. The drivers are just like such a burden. I mean, like they're changing up now, like for all the press, but like during the filming, like Max Verstappen especially, and like some of the others were like very much like, get the fuck out of the way. I was like, what are you doing? He was like, let us do our thing. It's like, no, I don't. I think Zach Brown and Fred were the only ones with lines. But then, like, they drew attention to Gunther Steiner, another team principal down at Haas. He's a bit of a fan favorite because he's really funny when he swears. And then the one that got me the most, the one that I loved and appreciated, the one that was for the fans, was a shot of Lewis Hamilton's dog Roscoe, because Roscoe's always on the grid. So like seeing him on like the screen, like very much felt like it's like it just feels like because like they have that shot like most weekends because Roscoe's just there hanging out. So it's like yeah, let's cut to Jackie Stewart. We'll cut to some crowd. Oh yeah, here's Roscoe, and then we'll.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That was like early in the film, right?
Yeah, I think that was the first race that they showed him. Yeah.
Oh, I love that doggy. I didn't know who the fact that the doggy was a cameo was awesome. I love that.
Yeah,
that's great. That's really cool.
But yeah, I don't think any of the other drivers like there was some team radio, I think, but like I don't think any of the drivers had any of the lines. The people that did have the most involvement in terms of F1 is the commentators Martin Brundle and David Croft. They're not the commentators for the first two races. That was some weird shit that I expressed my displeasure to Liam already. Of like, it's just like there for the audience,
to like explain
like
the
basic shit.
The action.
Yeah, it's like
I needed it.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I appreciated it.
It was so bad in my opinion, like the way like it was done. But then like after that, like for like the next, like for the rest of the races, they replaced him with like the real commentators for Sky Sports. But they definitely had some custom lines.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, right. So they recorded for the film.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. I like that. Yeah. This is why I like your take, because this is like the only thing I feel like we've seen in recent memory where like I'm the you and this is like when we saw the Iron Claw and I'm like shitting on it. And everyone else is like, it's amazing. So like that's why I need your take on this shit that I needed. Yeah, cool. I mean, we haven't talked about there is. I will say, if you want to go to see the film called F1, and it's 2.5 hours long, like I appreciate at least that they give you your money's worth of racing, because this movie's got a lot of racing in it. I feel like it was not lacking for racing. I was never like, holy shit, please get back to the track. I was like, never. Like, there's a lot of racing in this movie, so I'll give it that. And I thought the racing was really well done, really exciting. Fitzy, what did you reckon? Did it live up to like the Joseph Kosinski treatment, that we had in our heads of that experience?
You know what? I think my favorite moment in the film is actually the NASCAR. So it was NASCAR? No, sorry, Daytona. The Daytona race where they have like the fireworks, and it felt like it was weird. Like from Cars. That felt like it was like the closest thing we'll get to a live action Cars. I thought that was actually pretty awesome. But yeah, the racing was good too. I don't really understand how. I don't really understand how it works. Like how, like when the cars look like they can or can't like take over. Because sometimes it looks like they can, but like because of the positioning of the cars, it's like you have to get used to like what position means what. In terms of like defending and attacking and. Sure, like it's just, I feel like there's a learning curve there, but yeah, no, the racing was pretty cool. I think the end sequence, the his flying sequence, that was I think that was one of the moments that like paid off, that hit. And yeah, the kind of team up sequence versus Hamilton was cool too.
Oh yeah, that was good. Yeah.
I like how he was like the final boss.
He made himself the final boss.
Yeah,
that's pretty funny. And I don't know. I kind of maybe I shouldn't have felt this way. I was kind of surprised they won, to be honest. Like it felt like, I know it's like these things are all like underdog stories, but like It felt almost too good to be true. You know what I mean?
Oh, it is. You don't. You like.
Like
You just don't.
I thought the whole thing would be like, you know, like that they would achieve. I don't know. They would achieve some other goal. I guess it would be getting in the top 10, right? But they did that kind of early in the movie. But like if they didn't do it early in the movie, then it would be that, for example. You know, like, it'd be something like semi-realistic, I guess.
Yeah. You don't go 2.5 seasons without scoring a point, and then all of a sudden you start scoring points, you know, and then you'll start fighting for a podium in the next race, and then you're fighting for the lead in the next race, and then
right.
You don't win a race by merit when you're a bottom team. Like if you're not the top 3, realistically, you're not winning a race unless there's like extraordinary circumstances. Which is like a really late red flag where someone fucks up a call, or if it's raining, there's a chance as well. Like in recent history, like Pierre Gasly won in Monza a couple of years ago, which was like a miracle. And then like I think Esteban won. He might have come second. Yeah, he came second. Sorry. Yeah, but like it just doesn't happen where like a team outside the top 3 doesn't like wins on merit. And to like have the turnaround they did in half a season, less than half a season is
yeah, but it was a miracle, Jayden. Remember?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess it was the first miracle that Ruben witnesses. Yeah,
yeah.
No, but yeah, no, I liked a lot of those sort of actiony. I guess in this kind of film, I guess I can call them like the action scenes or whatever. But yeah, like the double team was good. There are a few like that in the film. Obviously, like my entire theater gasped when goddamn JP had his accident about midway through.
Yeah.
But I was confused. Did it not look like he flew out of the vehicle, or was I like hallucinating?
I didn't see
that.
I
didn't see that.
I was hallucinating. That's fine. Don't worry about it. When I saw it, I thought he flew out of the vehicle. I don't know. Like it must have been a piece of shrapnel or something in my eyes.
Like some Ferrari type thing. Ferrari the movie 2023.
Yeah. I was for real.
You know, when he goes fucking.
Oh, I could never forget saying that shit. That was insane. But yeah, no, my theater did gasp nonetheless. So that I guess that was a pretty memorable moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that would actually like have impact there, you know, but he recovered like really quick, and I was like, whatever. I thought that
agreed.
Like the crash that is based off of, like the driver is pretty much like the mirror to that, where like it looks like the worst thing you've ever seen. Like I remember like watching like the crash that is based off of, like Romain Grosjean's. Like cars don't go up in fireballs anymore, but like when it happens, like you're like, oh, he's dead. But then he came out of the car, and literally like the worst injury that he had were on his hands from when he pushed himself out of the car, and like that's where he burned himself the most, rather than from the actual fire.
Oh wow, yeah.
It's like in terms of feeling like a short turnaround, like it is, but also in real life, it also was like he was fine very quickly. Like it was the end of the season, so he didn't race again, but like he was like it's, you know. With modern safety standards, like it's pretty like, you know, like that kind of crash. I mean, going flying is a bit scary, but like the fireball part, you know, you can walk away from that.
Yeah.
I just thought that they'd kind of try to mirror like what happened to Sonny, and like have that be an actual like narratively impactful thing. But
yeah.
I mean, it's good to know that it's based on something. That's cool. But yeah, no, I agree. I think that goes back to what I was saying earlier about like some of the more traumatic things in the movie not really fulfilling their potential narratively, I think. Yeah. I mean, in terms of how do you feel about the way that this was shot, Jayden, in terms of having all the 4 cameras mounted on the cars, getting these angles? Like it felt cinematic enough and unique enough to like something you get on TV.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. Most of these angles are things we get nowadays anyway. Like we don't get like the kind of 360 kind of pivot one, but like we do have a driver's eye. We have the mounted. We do have like a nose camera. And I think there might even be a rear one. Maybe not. But like, you know, like it's like we have those perspectives, but then like I think the way they've shot it is really cool. With like the kind of maneuverable ones, but then also like with the ones that they couldn't achieve, because like they tried to shoot as much as they could on track, but you couldn't shoot during an actual race. like just painting over like other cars, like doing actual like things during a race, like it achieved, you know, what they wanted for like a cheap in like a cheap way without like having to CGI everything, you know.
Is that what they did?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So like when a car would do something cool during a race, they're like, I'll take that part and I'll just paint over it.
Wow. So they just took like another driver doing that in a real race.
Yeah. Like going like that shot at Spa where he's going up a Rouge, like that. That's like a real thing that happened. I mean, like not real, like that was a real shot from 23, I think, with Pierre Gasly. I think like where he's getting squeezed and like he's going up. Like that actually happened. Like
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I was gonna like I thought the film was very well edited in all of these sequences to make it feel coherent, and that's where the commentary, like inserting that in all the right moments, like it all really came together quite well in terms of being able to follow the action for someone like me, and yeah, for it to be exciting and all that. Joseph Kosinski said they had over 5,000 hours of footage, and they had almost 2 years to edit it because of the strikes. You can tell, like in terms of that stuff, like picking their shots from real races and shit and stuff they didn't even shoot, and like they had a lot to pull from, obviously, and I can imagine that being quite a task. So no, I think all that came together in the end really nicely. Yeah, I love that shot that they had, that like when they had the camera that when it would do the like the whip pan, or you know what I'm talking about, like that was sick. Every time they did that, I thought it was so cool.
Yeah, that was a cool one that you can't. Yeah, you don't experience that one on TV.
You can't get that
one
like on Fox Sports. You can't get the cool whip pan. Yeah, no, I thought that was awesome. I love that. I'm sure Jayden knows this anyway, but filming took place during various Grand Prix weekends during 2023 and 2024 seasons. During the weekend of the British Grand Prix in July 2024 at Silverstone, a garage was set up for the fictional Formula One team, and this garage was set up between the garages of Mercedes and Ferrari. This garage was used to film various scenes alongside a pit wall set up where characters would direct the fictional race from, and this setup was also used in various European rounds of the F1 season. What does that mean? So like while the real race is going on, they're there shooting their little fictional story from their script.
Not while the race was happening. Like that, like when actual racing was going on, like they couldn't be near the track.
Okay, makes sense.
But like over the weekend, during breaks between like the sessions, because like most weekends, it's not just the F1 race. You have some kind of support. So like it'd be mostly between those support sessions where they'd be filming, and then like the only time that they were actually on track with other F1 drivers was for a couple formation laps they did across the years.
Okay.
But like in terms of like the garage setup, I'm surprised that they put it between Ferrari and Mercedes, because the garages are ordered in the constructors championships of the previous year, and like it doesn't have like a massive bearing on. I mean, it doesn't really have any bearing on like strategy, but like knowing that you're the first garage to pull into rather than the second one is like something that's ingrained into your drivers. So like, I'm kind of surprised that they kind of just slotted it in the middle.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So I guess the idea is that they had that space in a real F1, not at the same time, but in a real F1 setting in a real garage.
Yeah. Like the teams would be working away. Yeah. So like there's like the teams like the real teams would be working away during the sessions as well. So like, you probably could have got some cool, I don't know, like you would have got like some good shots of like people going in like walking the back with like real people and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. Brad Pitt and Damon Idris did all their own driving at speeds up to 180 miles per hour. Is that like, that's real? That's like legit top speeds right there? I don't know how fast these things go. How fast do these things go in miles?
How much is 180 miles?
Isn't that like, is that 300 Ks?
No, it's like 250-ish, isn't it?
I think it's more. Oh, is it not more than that?
290. You can probably hit about 220 miles, I think, which is, you can hit it like 350 Ks, I think, is the absolute maximum. You're not really hitting that usually, though, because like most of the straights aren't really long enough, or like the cars have too much downforce. I say 320 to 330. 330 probably is like what you're hitting in a race regularly.
Okay. All right. So we're talking slightly below race levels.
Max speeds, yeah. But once again, I don't know when they were doing that speed because like they were never racing with other people. So like it must have just been like in that practice session they had, like when like Brad Pitt was testing. I guess like they might have been pushing it there.
Just pushing it with them, like with themselves on the track, with no one else on the track.
Yeah. Which I'm surprised they let them do, to be honest.
Sure. Yeah. No, that's fair enough. Forbes estimated that the film made $40 million from sponsorships and brand deals. That's that Transformers money. Michael Bay would be proud, for sure. Cool. I've got to say, I thought the Zimmer score was awesome. It was probably in my top 3 most enjoyable parts of the film.
I was expecting a bit more because I saw people hyping it up online.
Uh,
People were like, "Oh yeah, he's doing an Inception with like a drum beat," and I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be sick." And then, and then it was kind of standard Zimmer, I guess I'd say. I don't know.
the power of expectations, I guess.
Yeah, they hurt me.
Yeah, that sucks. No, I did really enjoy it though. I liked it a lot.
I like that the movie gave respect to other feeder series, not feeder series, but like other racing series, because like the air around F1 is quite pretentious sometimes because it is like they call it the pinnacle of motorsports, and like I guess it is like the hardest one to get into. There's 20 seats, and like it's like the fastest one, no, one of the fastest. I think IndyCar is technically a bit faster, like, but there can be like an air of like, you know, we're better than everyone else. So like I like that the movie like kind of respected other racing series.
Well, as in like including them?
Yeah, in having like an emphasis on Daytona and like in making it so like Brad Pitt had a choice in going to F1, as if like it wasn't like I need to get back opportunity, as in like in having it just kind of be like another opportunity for him. It kind of like
right. It's not like the be all end all in the film necessarily. Yeah, that's a good point.
Helps break that barrier a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, Fitzy, when you brought up the goddamn fireworks at the start in the Daytona, like what was that shit about? Like, why were there fireworks on the track? Like, am I meant to believe that was some sort of like real accident that could happen? Like they've had fireworks going off too close while the race was going on?
I mean, they were kind of in the back, weren't they? I mean, like it would be like for the final lap, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
But they were on the track though. No.
Oh, I guess.
Like, how would that? I just don't understand how that could conceivably like ever happen.
Yeah, maybe can't. Maybe it was just, you know, cinematic embellishment or something. I don't know.
It felt like that. And like, which I'm not against if like the film did it more. Like, it felt like a very odd, like off inclusion to go like.
It embellishes heaps, mate. Don't worry.
Oh well, yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah. But I needed more. I needed more obvious embellishment. I needed like, give me someone like firing rocket launchers at them. You know what I mean? Like
Cars 2.
Yeah. Exactly. I needed like all the cars to have like bullet bills on them as well. So, you know what I mean? Or them all to have like the James Bond like machine guns in them. So they just rattle off. Yeah, I needed something like that for me to believe the fireworks thing, because otherwise it was weird. Let's get to our final verdicts for F1. Fitzy.
Yeah, I think I'll give it a 6. I think the movie definitely had moments that hit, but everything in between was just kind of fine, crowd pleasing, as you guys said, just made for everyone. So yeah, I'll give it a 6.
I completely agree, and will also give it a 6. Jayden.
Okay, I thought I'm giving it a 7. I thought you guys would be there with me. I mean, it's not much difference, but like out of the theater, I was going to give it an 8, but like, you know, like because I've had these couple of days, you know, it drops down.
It's also the power, the haze, the tiredness of the Friday night that might also make me the sunny haze. That might make me also, you know, just give. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. Us changing the time that we record might just mean I'm just gonna be more negative these days. I'm not gonna lie. I might just everything 1 point lower.
Really? 9 o'clock and you're pissy.
I'm pissy, man. Yeah, exactly. Just 1 point. 1 point. The ceiling is lowered.
The Zack Tex.
Yeah. Now it's time for our highlights of the week, I guess. Fitzy, what have you been watching?
Every time I check, I really don't remember. So, I watched 28 years. I watched 28 weeks later, right before watching 28 years.
Yeah.
28 weeks was pretty good, pretty fun. Yeah, Jeremy Renner, is in that movie, and he does this Jeremy Renner thing. So that was
Okay.
good. Yeah, 28 years was it was okay. I was kind of expecting a lot more like cult kind of stuff because like the trailers really lent into that, and they lent into this weird like, you know, they had that World War poem which they did have in the movie for like one sequence, but it was giving this really eerie kind of vibe, and there was like some of that, but it didn't go as heavy or as deep as I would have preferred, I guess. It went in a more kind of sentimental direction, I guess. But yeah, it was interestingly made. Like the editing was really weird, I thought. Like, you know, like those the kill shot freaking edits, Jayden?
Yeah,
every single bow shot, they like, when someone dies, they like go to a different angle. Which was cool, I guess, but like there was just a lot of weird editing choices like that.
Have you seen the rigs I had for that?
Nah, was it?
Yeah, because like they were filming on iPhones, but like some of like the rigs I had were like these like massive fucking arches, and like there's like 28 iPhones like positioned around it.
They shot the whole thing on iPhones, right?
Yeah.
That's
which
crazy.
I think is to their detriment. I think sometimes it was like, sometimes I'm like, you could have got a better quality camera for this.
Yeah.
But like, what's the point of that? Like, what's Danny Boyle like? Is he like?
He was saying because it was ease of access, because like he was saying we're filming in like high country with like forests and shit, and like it just makes it so much easier to shoot because it's so much lighter and mobile than, you know, like an RE res or whatever they use otherwise.
Right. Okay. I mean, I guess that makes a bit of sense. I guess, I don't know. Part of me is kind of like, is he doing it like to try and make a point? Like, not that that's a bad thing, but like, is he doing it like to sort of prove that it can be done?
Soderbergh already did it years ago.
Yeah, I feel like that's like, Soderbergh did it with like Unsane or whatever. I think that was all filmed on iPhone. So I feel like the point. I don't know. He might have done it for the Jude Law movie. What was that? The Rooney Mara Jude Law movie with like this like yeah, but like I feel like it's been proven at this point. So I feel like he wouldn't,
right.
Danny Boyle wouldn't do that just to prove a point.
Sure.
But yeah, you should watch the first movie, Zach. 28 Days Later. Yeah, with Killian.
Yeah, is that still the best one in your opinion?
Oh yeah. Luke seems to think it's the worst, but you know.
Yeah, Luke's review annoys me because he just talks about it doesn't look good. I'm like, if you can't see past that, then I'm like, I don't know. But to be fair, you've probably actually spoken to him about it, but like his review annoyed me because he's like, it looks bad. I'm like, shot in 2002.
Well, he said it was shot on a DS, which is actually funny. That's a funny review.
Yeah. But like it's like shot in 2002 on like a shoestring budget. Like it's, you know, it's like
yeah. Oh yeah, it's kind of supposed to look like low quality, but
yeah.
Fair enough. I don't have a highlight. So is this? Do you want to expand on this, Jayden?
Not really. I was gonna write a review for it, but then like it kind of all escaped me. So like I don't really know. Like it didn't escape me, but like I had a lot of good words coming out of the theater, but then because I was with my mate and we're chatting shit, I lost the good words. And I'm like,
right,
about the movie, you know.
Yeah. That sucks.
What I will say is that I rewatched Stranger Things, all of it in about 2 weeks.
Oh my fucking god! Did you want to kill yourself finally?
Yeah. So I think this is my second time rewatching it. I think actually I've seen the first season quite a few times, but I think like this is my second time rewatching 2 and 3. So this is my third watch of 2 and 3 and my second watch of 4.
Okay.
season one still remains generational stuff. Like I still think season one is like one of the best things like kind of made. Like it is kind of crazy good. But then like it should have always ended there. I just think expanding the world and expanding the story just kind of continually hurts them. Like with like actor wise, character wise, and lore wise, like it kind of all just got too big for itself. Like watching it all so close together kind of really highlights how it was at its strongest when it was about like government and conspiracy, and the supernatural was kind of like the minor part of it. Whereas like by the time you get to season 4 and it's like full on superhero shit, and you know there's like blatant like travel between like dimensions and all that stuff, it's like you're just losing the source a bit. The thing is, I like season 2 is still like kind of close to that kind of government conspiracy stuff, but like I still think it's like the weakest one because like it's just kind of boring. Whereas season 3 is fun, but like you know, too like kind of like it kind of goes too heavy on like the kind of action and supernatural stuff. And then season 4 is just too long, and it's just kind of like you're just kind of hitting like a kind of threshold there. It's still stuff I enjoy, but like it's kind of crazy that the show goes from like a 9, and then it just kind of bounces around at this like a kind of 7 stage. And like I think for you it's probably more severe than that, but like for me, and I think for most, I don't want to speak for the world because you know how I was telling you that like it seems like the audience is starting to like kind of wane off him, and it's like kind of like starting to like say like Stranger Things isn't that great
because of how long it's been.
Yeah, but like I started rewatching it because I got a couple of TikToks for it, and I was like yeah, fuck it, I might as well get the rewatch in. And then like after I started that rewatch, it was like I started getting like quite a bit of Stranger Things content, and like people are still very much in love with it. So I think I was wrong. I was wrong in my prior assessment to you about like where the audience stands. But yeah, I don't know. Like I think it's good. I just think it's definitely gone. I think it's gone off the deep end. I find it interesting that the Duff brothers like they insist that they've had this all planned from the start, but like I just don't see how you have all this planned out and you still take 3 years between seasons and you're still kind of like got like these kind of weak like kind of connections between like moving the story along.
Yeah,
like
it does not feel like a planned out show.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like you planned. Yeah, it doesn't feel like you had everything going from the start. Which I think is like a huge compliment to season 1 because like season 1's so strong. But don't try and say that, you know. I think them saying we've had this all planned out is like a kind of it makes the show seem a bit worse because if you really have been thinking about all this, and I'm like, yeah. Well, season 2 was kind of like a nothing season. It was like introduced 2 characters and then what? Like there was nothing really changed. It's like season 2 is like a null and void like season if you have been planning it. It's like what was your point in doing it? Yeah. I always skip when I rewatch that I think it's 2-7. Maybe it's 2-8. No, I think it's 2-7. That episode where 11 goes to like fucking Pittsburgh or whatever.
Yeah.
I genuinely think that might be like the worst episode of television ever made. But yeah,
not even your completionist mindset could.
Oh yeah, no, I've never rewatched that. Like in my other rewatches, like I've always skipped it. I just couldn't bring myself to do it.
That's so funny.
Yeah. While I was rewatching season 1, my dad popped in the room, like into the lounge room, and he started watching it. And he's like, "Oh, I need to watch this tonight." And he did. He watched season 1 in a night as well.
Holy shit!
He loved it, but I think he's like slowed down seriously, and like I think I need to warn him about 2-7. I need to tell him just skip it.
Yeah. That's
just
a good
to
point.
keep some interest in it.
His entire it'll be derailed.
Yeah.
His entire watch. Man, what's the word on season 5 right now? Has there been a trailer yet?
No, there was that date announcement that I talked about a couple of weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
You know, the 26th of November, and then Christmas and then New Year's Day.
Yeah. Do we know anything about like just like all these episodes going to be 2.5 hours long again?
Yeah, I don't think we've had episode lengths yet, but I'd expect them to be. I'd expect at least one of the Christmas ones and one of the New Year's ones. I'd expect to be, you know, 3 times the length.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just could never get over it. I really couldn't. I still can't.
You did end up finishing it though. I think you finished it before I did, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That 2.5 hour on final episode, it was still tough. I still watched it in 2 parts.
Oh, absolutely. How can you not?
Yeah. Which is funny because like I binged an entire season in a day, but then it got to that episode and I was like, yeah, I need to take a break.
I cannot watch this whole episode. Yeah, it's so long. Why is it so long?
That's ridiculous. It is crazy. Ridiculous.
100% agree on that.
But yeah, overall, season 1 very strong. The rest of it, fine, good.
Okay, now comes a segment where we hand the show over to you with our question of the show. Last week we asked you which sport should next get the Joseph Kosinski treatment, meaning it must be made into a big budget and practically filmed blockbuster movie. And as a little bonus, who should be the lead star of this project? Jai said, Ostrich Racing is the next big horse racing movie. Anthony Hopkins should definitely be the lead star. Is there anything to explain here for me, Jayden?
Yeah, I've got nothing on this one. All
right. I just need to double check.
Yeah, in the dark on that one.
Is Ostrich Racing real? It
kind of like the Greyhounds, I guess, maybe.
Like I don't see why it wouldn't be real, I guess. But and Anthony Hopkins. Okay. Hey, I like it. I would love to see that. That sounds like something like AI could make, And it'd be terrible, but I'd watch it. It'd be funny. Andy said, AFL is a sport I would want to be made into a practically filmed movie, even though it's going to be like most Aussie sport films with a very basic sports movie formula. It's probably going to end up being a biopic, not too high budget, but high enough for Screen Australia standards. The central subject will be around Mark Thompson, and the title I have in mind would be Bomber. Most likely would be an adaptation to his memoir, Bomber, the Whole Story. And the film will show his... This is just... I'm finding this way funnier than I should, like the idea of this actually existing. And the film will show his playing career from the Essendon Bombers and his successful coaching career at the Geelong Cats with a brief stint at Essendon. The filming of the gameplay will be hard to execute by nature if you guys are looking for a blockbuster, but I look forward to scripting out all the drug doping controversy caused by Essendon around 2014 and his drug trafficking incidents a couple of years later. I reckon I can make an interesting blockbuster by cutting between all of that. The older version of Bomber Thompson should be played by Ben Mendelsohn. The prosthetic suit might be required to bulk him up. That's good. That's a lot of good subject matter. You're right, Andy, to weave in. The drug trafficking, the media aspect of it, the sport, the career. I assume, like, you got to, of course, have, like, the home angle, the family incidents that, how does this affect his family kind of shit, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's for sure. Write a screenplay based on that. That's good. I like that. Leanne said the ultimate quote-unquote sport, in terms of your discussion about the Top Gun and F1 examples, that could be made into a huge budget blockbuster is the space race. That's why the sport's in quotes. But in the second half of the 20th century, the space race was generally seen to have taken place between the United States and the Soviet Union. The current players in terms of nations are considered to be the US and China, with India, Japan, and Russia remaining significant participants. However, apart from nations, the fascinating players in the multi-billion-dollar sporting competition are, of course, Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. These two individuals and their organizations are what the movie could be based upon. Bezos could be played by Tom Cruise and Musk could be played by Brad Pitt. Holy shit.
That's actually not a bad shout. That'd be good to see the two heavy hitters going at it like that. Yeah.
Oh, dude. That's awesome. These two individuals and their organizations are what the movie could be based upon. Bezos could be played... Oh, I already said that, sorry. Musk is Brad Pitt. There would be some serious makeup work required for the actors and lots of special effects needed, but hey, it would make for a fascinating film and great global entertainment. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Dr. Leanne. That is a great idea. I love it. That is great entertainment. But the thing is it like a Tropic Thunder? Where Korea's, it's like they're parodying them.
Yeah, I don't see how you put Cruz in like that much prosthetics and not have him like do like insane character work.
Exactly. That's actually pretty good. I like that. Oh man. Okay. Damn, my answers seem really boring now. But yeah, Jayden, what do you got?
I don't want to go first.
Oh, okay. I'll go first then and say that after I watched that free diving documentary a few years ago, I thought about free diving, and I'm like, I'm a fan for like underwater. Like this is Tom Cruise's right up his alley. Like, give me. I mean, it's actually probably too vanilla for him. Like, he probably wouldn't do it because he thinks it's boring. In terms of like staying underwater for 20 minutes, he's like, oh, I've done that. So he wouldn't do it. But free diving, get someone diving really far down, holding their breath. You know, you get the whole tension aspect of it nicely. You get the whole like, you know, by a certain point it becomes really dark. I feel like that's kind of scary. I know, I kind of like that idea. I feel like that's got potential. Who would star in my free diving movie? God damn, I didn't think of this part. Who's like a marquee name? But you got to be young. You got to have like the lung capacity, I think, for this.
Hey, Tom Cruise held his breath for like 8 minutes that one time, so
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, like get Kate. Well, Kate Winslet's got to be in it, but she's not my lead because it's got to be a man, obviously. So, but Kate Winslet's definitely in my movie. I'll give it to Paul Mescal. How about that? He should be the lead. I like that. Give him the big break that he really desperately needs because he needs to be in a big action movie for once. Liam, what do you think?
There needs to be a badminton movie, you know, with like gyroscope. I actually saw someone who makes like, you know, short films on like Instagram, and they had like gyroscopes on the bats, and they made it look really cinematic and stuff, and it was really cool. So they should like ask that guy what he did and do that. And I feel like you could have anyone in it, you know, anyone would suit badminton.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think there's a certain demographic that you kind of need to include.
Yeah. Who's that, Jayden? Hey, that is fair. Yeah.
Actually, to be fair, when I was playing, no, it was dominated. It was dominated by Asians. Like it was Asians that was playing it. Yeah.
I was thinking you could have Ki Hui Kwan. You know that the
Ki Hui Kwan. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Or he could be the mentor character, you know, and then you could have someone else. Who's the British? Oh no, you could have like Melton, you know, Charles Melton. Is his name?
Oh yeah, the young guy, the May December guy. Is that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah,
I don't mind that. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I thought you were just going to keep Key as the lead and like Brad Pitt it, you know, whereas it's like he's 60, but who cares?
Maybe, yeah. Do they have like divisions or something? I don't know. Or is it just like
world? Yeah, fucking Thursday Night Social League at the fucking Sports Center here.
Yeah. Jayden, now it's your turn.
Well, so like, I don't know, because like I wasn't sure what you meant with like, but are you looking for like if you're looking for like a big budget Joseph Kosinski movie? I don't see how you move away from motorsports because like nothing else really kind of demands this kind of style, you know. But like you know, if you know going more along like Liam's path or like badminton, and you're looking more like you know Luca's kind of challenges type of thing, or like a Friday Night Lights kind of more intimate type of thing, you know.
Yeah,
I think you know like you kind of get two different answers.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know, like yeah, so like if you want the Kosinski movie, I think like MotoGP is like the kind of next step. MotoGP is a terrifying sport to watch because like you just feel like like you watching the drivers, you like it just feels so vulnerable because they've got nothing, man. Like it is a bike, and it's them in a leather suit pretty much, and like that's it. And like when they come off, like it's terrifying because like you see them skid for fucking like 600 meters. No, that's an exaggeration. You see them skid for like 60 meters, and like then they're rolling in gravel, and then they get up fine. So like when they're just rolling on the ground, they're okay. But like sometimes, like I don't know if you've ever seen like them get straight in the middle of a track when there's like other.
Oh my god!
It is horrible stuff. So yeah, that's the that would be the Kosinski method, you know. Would be.
Dude, that is a great answer. Holy
I forgot about motorbikes. Yeah,
I forgot they existed.
In terms of like I don't know enough about like storylines. I don't know. We can have an Australian one, you know, set at the Phillip Island GP.
Okay.
Who's a young, lanky kind of Australian that we can chuck on them?
Lanky.
Jacob Lordy. I don't know.
I was going to say him, but he's not. He's not lanky enough.
No. I mean,
who's that guy? Oh my god, what's his face? Oh shit! What's his name? Oh, like Kobe Smith McPhee, whatever his name is.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I know there's someone for you.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a mug for motorsport, actually. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Man,
how old is he? He's getting a bit old now, isn't he?
Yeah, he'd be pretty old these days.
Hold on. He was like, what, 11 in 2011 doing Let Me In? Maybe a bit older than that, maybe like 13-ish. He's probably not that old. He can definitely do it. That's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, good shout.
Thank you. Yeah. No, I like your answer. Is MotoGP, like on paper, I feel like it should be like the most exciting thing to watch out of all these motorsports. But like, is it not that popular?
It's nowhere near as popular as like some of your other ones. But like the only reason, like to be like once again, like a decade ago, it might have been comparable to F1, but because of F1's like digital push and like push for like a younger audience, like it kills it nowadays. In like Phillip Island, like that area specifically, like it is massive. So like you probably get pockets where it still is massive as well. Like around the world, not just in Phillip Island.
In Phillip Island, it's massive.
Yeah. But like, you know, I mean, like where the races take place, you probably do like have like a really like good kind of population. But like, yeah, outside of it, no. It is exciting to watch. It is a lot closer. I mean, like I don't watch too much of it, so I can't really comment too much. But like the races I do see, they do seem like a lot closer than what F1 races are. And especially if you're watching like Moto 2, Moto 3, it does seem like there is like quite a good like kind of mix of talent and like competition. Like Moto 2 to me seems a lot closer to Moto 1, like to MotoGP, than what Formula 2 to Formula 1 seems. But once again, like I don't know if that's actually true. Like, cause I only watch a handful of races really a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense. Really good answer. I want to see some awesome cameras mounted on these bikes, you know? Just do some cool shit like that.
Some dude just get fucking speared at 300k.
Holy shit. Oh my god. Yeah, that's terrifying. That is really, that is crazy what they do. You're not wrong at all.
Yeah.
All right. As always, we'd love you to submit your responses, thoughts, and or reviews for next week's film in the YouTube or Instagram comment sections, or join the Discord server. This week, the specific question we'll be asking you is, who are you unreasonably jealous of? Let us know. Fitzy, why are we asking this question?
We're doing Amadeus, a film Jayden suggested.
Did I suggest it?
No.
Like I don't know. Like if you say that I suggested it 2 years ago and it's been on the back burner, maybe I'm not gonna.
He did. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Let's say that. Yeah. All right. Which is a film about Mozart, Wolfgang. What was it? Amadeus. It's a Wolfgang.
Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart.
Okay.
Wait, is that right? That's right? I think.
Wait, is Amadeus and Mozart the same guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's his middle name.
No, I'm just fucking with you.
Oh, sorry.
Damn.
Shit.
That was good.
Anyway, yeah.
But the question is relevant because the film is from the viewpoint of his rival. Oh well, the film is from the viewpoint of Salieri, who views Mozart as his rival, and he's unreasonably well, maybe not unreasonably. He's jealous of Mozart's abilities and his lack of class.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Should we like change the question? Actually, should it be who are you reasonably jealous of? That's what this is.
I said, who are you insanely jealous of? That's what I originally said.
We can change. I just felt like that was quite a big feat to be insanely jealous of someone. You know what I mean?
From Milos Forman, that's what I was. Yeah, he's a big director.
A big director of wasting my time.
Alrighty. Before we go, we have an Instagram poll to announce.
Oh.
We got poll nominees.
Put like a second into.
Oh no! Do you need it? Like, how much time do you need here?
I'll just like look at what's on my Netflix list.
Yeah, first thing on your Netflix list.
Yeah.
Oh my god! All right. Jane, you've got anything to kill time with for like 30 seconds?
No, I'm looking at my list. You can go. I can just.
I can go. So. No, but I don't like this. No, you need to lock it in before I give my. You need to have locked it in before I answer.
This whole thing. What? Why?
It's true. Because I'm locked in. It gives you an advantage, dude. Come on. You need to.
You and your advantage. Stop being insecure about it. Just
tell me when you're locked. Tell me when you're locked in.
It. I'm not locked in. Just say what it is, and I'll find it. Okay. Say your film, and I'll find it.
Nah, I don't like this. Oh, fine, whatever. It's fine. Nah. Because then, like, whatever, it's fine. All right, whatever. I'm nominating Darren Aronofsky's The Wrestler.
Oh.
Now, Fitzy's going to fucking really quickly go. Fucking David Fincher film he sees, if we hadn't done them all already.
I'm nominating A History of Violence.
Oh, tough one for
me. Oh, my God, kill me. Oh, okay.
That's actually like the first one. Well, not really, but basically the first one.
You're making me going to watch this shit again? Oh my God. Anyway, whatever. All right. You must vote to decide which film we'll be reviewing in a fortnight's time. So cast your votes. Those are your two options. Go to our Instagram page and check out our stories sometime within 24 hours after this episode goes live. And vote for The Wrestler. Please save me. Thank you. All right. That's it. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. I appreciate Liam and Jayden for joining me as always. Have a great rest of your week. And hopefully I didn't slur too much now that it's almost 9:30. And goodbye.